Hey, crypto heads, it's the Goose with the Cryptic Paranormal Show. Welcome to the pre-eclipse party. We're going to get down and dirty with some ideas and all this crazy shit flowing around about this eclipse coming up on Monday. All kinds of theories coming up. I mean, I was diving in. I couldn't even pick just a few videos because there's so many out there. So many articles about what's happening. But before we get into that, first of all, our special guests, Devin, Arjay, DeRousse are down there. So happy to have you guys on. Super excited.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a long time coming, and I'm glad we could do it on such an interesting night.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. But before that, let's catch up with D Nice. What's happening? How are you?
No, we're not catching up. We got to talk about. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
I know better than to ask Heisenberg because we just yep.
I am an eclipse denier.
What?
Oh, God,
You
here we
can't
go.
deny an eclipse?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Why are you an eclipse? Let's. I gotta know why.
Too.
It's not real.
What is it?
What do you mean? What is it?
When an eclipse happens, what is it?
You put these dark glasses on, right? You can't see anything else, right? But this little tiny dot.
So there's nothing going on. We just have our glasses on, so we can't see it.
Yes.
Okay.
That sounds real scientific.
And then wait, if you look at it, you're gonna burn your eyes out.
Yeah.
So keep the
then make sure
glasses
that you're
on.
not-
Don't look at it. No eclipse.
So,
Well, I mean, if you know,
I like
yeah,
that.
okay.
interesting theory. Interesting theory. Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Just don't look at it to try to prove your point. Okay.
What?
Okay? Just promise me you're not going to look at it just to prove your point.
At what?
At the eclipse.
There's
The
no
non-eclipse.
eclipse.
Okay.
So next Thursday night, his eyeballs will not be burned out.
Right. Right.
Right. Oh, good Lord, Heisenberg. David Wolver said he denies Pepsi. What do you have to say about that?
Wolver doesn't know anything about Pepsi.
He said it.
And he should be worried about the eclipse not happening.
Well, yeah, us. We're going to be crazy enough to go down to Ohio and check this out, this non-eclipse. So,
Nice.
but
Hey.
interesting enough though, in these states, Ohio and Indiana, the National Guard is going to be out because there's going to be an extra, maybe 500,000 people
Yeah.
in this path of totality, they call it.
That's what they want you to think.
Right. That's right. And they're going to close schools because they don't want kids going out because it's going to happen during when the school gets out. And they want kids running out going, oh, look at the eclipse.
Closing down the infrastructures. Yep.
Yeah, the kids invented this to get out of school.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
That's
it.
why
There you
you're
go.
denying it. It's not real. Kids invented it. Okay.
Yeah.
I get it. We can end the show now.
Yeah. Mystery solved.
Right? It makes perfect sense.
Yeah. So, they are worried about traffic jams when you're down there. I'm not
Yeah.
looking forward to that if that happens.
Yeah.
They're worrying that, maybe restaurants will run out of food and maybe Daniel, our partner, said maybe it's a good idea to get some money out of the ATM before we get there because it might be running out. And they're talking about traffic jams and all this. So,
Right.
we'll see,
They're even
Yeah.
taking it a step further, and all of the blood banks are asking for extra donations ahead of the eclipse, and
Yeah.
they're telling you to get gas, have 2 weeks worth of food, have a
Right.
communication plan with your family in case communications go down.
Mhm.
And what about the birds?
the what?
I don't know what's going to happen with the birds.
That was
birds?
a question somebody brought up. What about the
Yeah.
animals? What?
Well,
Well, the birds, what the that's gonna
Yeah.
fuck them up, man.
That's interesting
Flying,
because
just flying in the dark.
well, yeah, that could happen. In
They
2017,
don't have radars like bats.
Yeah, I know. In 2017, we were down at the Serpent Mound at the eclipse, and when it supposedly happened, Heisenberg, all the birds and all the insects just stopped There was no
Oh,
Oh my
sound.
gosh.
And as it got light,
Yeah,
they started back up. So that's, it's interesting. I never thought about that. Well, if it was birds flying in the air, I mean, will he
Right.
flee or whatever?
Right. I mean, like, you're at the Serpent Mound. That's all right. But I'm talking, I live in Akron, man. There's buildings out there and shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I already know they're already warning us, everybody in our area with all the Summit Metro parks, that it's just going to be insane.
Well, they won't even open them until a certain time.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, the Cleveland Clinic actually, I thought they were telling us this whole time that we were going to have to work the whole day, but now all of a sudden, okay, Monday when we're going to just do small routes. We're going to be done and off the road and at your home by 2, and then we'll see what happens
Good.
after the eclipse is on. So I'm like, thank God, because I don't want to deal with. I mean, I drive most of the day because I'm delivering oxygen to patients, and
Mhm.
Right.
yeah, I don't want to be out there driving in this mayhem. And
So
I don't know, but
Heisenberg, you're from Akron?
Yeah.
Well, you live there. So we're going to Port Clinton. What's that area?
Oh, that's
That's
where
where
he's
I was.
from.
That's where I grew up at.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, let's have another eclipse party.
Yeah. That's where I grew up, man.
Oh, that's cool.
Cool.
Yeah. So, I mean, I've never been there. I just, I heard it's got a
Great.
cool beaches and,
Yeah, it's a really good place.
okay.
I miss it. I miss living there.
Right. Yeah.
yeah, we had that
Visit us.
discussion. We had that discussion with you and your wife, where you guys would move if you chose to, and I think that was it.
Yeah, back to Port Clinton.
Mhm.
Wow. Nice. I mean, it seems like a really cool area. I just want to
Yeah,
back.
it's you know what? It's built for this. It's a tourist town.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it is, because it's right on the lake. It goes right to Put in Bay. So, I mean, it's built for this kind of. It's
Mhm.
perfect for whatever festival they're probably hosting there.
So it
Yeah.
should be insane, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be a party.
Probably a lot of people in Cleveland are going to be over there, right? It's not far from Cleveland, I think.
Yeah.
It's a couple hours.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
Oh, God.
Hour and a half, so.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I miss
I
it.
was
I
in
love
my
it there.
front yard.
I miss it.
Yeah, I can see why. It's a pretty cool area. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where we'll be, and
Cool.
Well, all three of you live in Ohio, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh,
Okay.
Yep. So I live in Stowe. I know we're gonna get totality here. It's gonna go like straight up. I think it's gonna hit all three of us.
Hmm.
So it'll be interesting. But yeah, I've been reading all these, and I don't want to get political, but like even Alex Jones is throwing his 2 bits in on this. I can't stand the fucker, but
I don't even know who he is.
he's Mr. Right wing conspiracy theorist. He's so far.
I really didn't know who he was.
Yeah, he's so far up Trump's ass, it's ridiculous. But
So,
he threw out the theory that this is all they're sending out the guard and everybody, and they're making this such a big deal because when Trump gets reelected, the government's going to declare martial law. So this is like a practice run. Like he literally said that on his show.
oh wow.
It's like,
Yeah.
this
I mean,
is the shit what we're dealing with. You know,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
so
zip my
stupid.
lips.
I had read,
What if
you know, I
somebody's
read
just like
somewhere.
changing the light bulb up there, cleaning off the sun?
Well, you know what? I'm going to get into some of the things that the people way in the past, the ancient, at least to think about it.
Yeah.
What they
Yeah.
did. So,
Well, yeah, that's. I mean,
no, we could get into that now. Honestly,
Yeah,
that's
because-
a huge question
Yeah, I want
have
to know about
because-
that shit.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But
well, you
it
know, if
does-
you want to get into it, I had to write some of this stuff down because I couldn't remember it all. But
And then
you
I'll
know,
just
they
disagree
say
with
the
it for
eclipse
fun.
will poison your food because of the radiation.
okay.
Wait, what?
It'll poison
People
your food
really
because of the
believe
super
that.
radiation. People actually believe this. If you're pregnant, you should not watch the eclipse because it will harm your baby.
Of course,
Oh.
that's obvious.
The eclipse will bring bad things that will happen. Evil will happen to you. The solar eclipse means that the end of the world is coming. The solar eclipse 6 months after your birthday or on your birthday means that you're going to have bad health.
Oh.
Some of the North American indigenous tribes used to shoot flaming arrows at the sun to relight it.
Well, now I hear they're shooting rockets.
Yes.
Yes, 3 of them.
Yeah, 3 of them into the ionosphere just
And
to
they're
see
calling
what'll
it
happen.
like Project Serpentine Deity or something, which is like
See?
super weird.
That's bullshit, man. They shouldn't be doing shit like that, man.
Yeah.
I know.
I agree.
Now in
And they're
Peru,
also-
oh, go ahead.
No, they're also firing up CERN the day of, which is
Yeah.
the particle collider.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
just to see what'll happen. Like, why?
And they're talking about like
I know
maybe
why, because they
somebody
want to
will
blow up
come
the world.
Maybe
say?
somebody will
Seriously.
come. They said maybe somebody will come through the portal, or maybe we'll put somebody through it. What? How about don't open a freaking portal? Step 1.
Well, I got to tell you a little story before I get into these other ones. I was at our store here a couple of weeks ago, and this lady walks in and says, "I'm from North Carolina. I don't know what I'm doing here, but I work for some people. And I'm on assignment." And somehow I started talking about the eclipse, and she goes, "Oh, the path of totality." She said, "Do you know what that is?" She said, "That's hiding a fleet of UFOs coming in, and the military is there to harbor in the rapture." And everything's going to be fine. And I said, "Well, I just went around the counter and gave her a hug. I said, 'Good luck to you. And I hope everything turns okay.'" And she said, "You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine." And she just walked out. That was just a bizarre thing, all the
I
way
can get
from
behind that.
It makes total sense.
Yeah.
You know what, though? In all of the movies where stuff like this happens, there's always that one person. It's usually some homeless guy on the street with a sign, but it's always there one person who's super crazy and sees it coming. And then it turns out that they're right. So if that would have
Right.
happened to me, I would have been like, I believe her. I believe her.
Right.
I'd be like,
I
oh,
mean,
shit.
you never know. Everything's possible. So,
Right.
Yeah. But in
Yes.
Peru, they used to shoot arrows at the sun because they wanted to scare away a beast that was trying to attack the sun. Okay.
Eclipsicus.
Exactly. Exactly.
That was good.
In Transylvania folklore, the eclipse stems from the angry sun turning away, covering herself with darkness in response to men's bad behavior.
Oh.
Interesting.
Now,
I believe that.
in this case, they're
Yeah.
saying the sun is a female energy, which usually it's a male energy in a lot of the other things. So, in India, many believe an eclipse happens when the dragon is trying to seize the sun and moon. And this is interesting. This one in Tahiti, the myth, the sun and the moon are lovers who join up, providing an eclipse, perhaps to hide what they're doing.
Oh.
So,
Scandalous.
Those rascals.
yeah, let's slow around.
That's interesting stuff. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. There's so many myths and things
Yeah.
about eclipses, and there always have been.
Yeah.
You know, that's what makes it interesting. But this one, I mean, I remember 2017, like RJ said, we went down to Serpent Mound, and it was magical. It really was. Everything stopped, all the insects, all the birds.
Yeah.
There's total silence except for the people walking around drumming.
Yeah.
Wow.
I love that. So that was
Yeah.
like so perfect.
Right.
Oh my
But
gosh.
you know, I didn't hear all the negative stuff about that one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This one, now they're saying, you know, because of the X and, you know, it happens so fast, it's supposed to only be every 100 years.
So it's a total eclipse, yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it was a little bit different in 2017 too, I believe.
Yeah, because it went the
yeah.
other way, which is also weird.
Yeah.
No, it was just a little bit different back then.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. Well,
time
that's
was
true.
ridiculous.
That's true. It was the times change every minute. You know,
Yeah,
every second.
so-
Yeah,
It was a different world back then where
yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I get
we
you.
were coming into this insanity, but we weren't
Mhm.
quite there yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Now we're there. We're all in now.
Now we're all in, and now, you know, the eclipses are making an X.
Right.
Mhm.
So, oh my God, it's got to be the rapture.
Well, they're
Yeah.
they're bringing up the rapture, but I was watching a video on the most reliable media source, TikTok.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people believing like it's crossing in a town in Indiana, right near right near it's the giant state park, or something like that. Actually, I have a video, but it's really long. I don't want to like get too far into the video. But there's theories that, you know, with all this energy being focused on that, there's actually going to raise giants, and they started getting into talking about the rise of Bigfoot. Like they're going to become a part of our, like they're coming. They're not going to be just, you know, these mystical beings that we kind of like see in the corner of our eye or on a
right.
Like the
foggy video.
Tartarians?
Yeah, exactly.
Because of 4 minutes of darkness.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Four
also,
minutes,
Bigfoot-
before
lot of
he-
magic.
would pull some shit like that too. You know, I wouldn't put it past them.
yeah.
You could fit a lot of magic in 4 minutes, Heisenberg.
That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't put it past that little bastard.
Yeah.
And I know there's a lot of
can
like
happen in
religious,
4 minutes.
I know like there's a
Right.
lot of mention of the rapture, and specifically for this reason that it's going through Jonah, Texas, and 2 towns called Nineveh, in Indiana and Ohio.
Yeah, we were checking that out, man.
Yeah.
How much of a chance that there's going to be a Bible name or something in this area? Town with some kind of religious.
The Bible.
A lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's actually a total of 9 with like if you go all the way across the entire United States, there's like 9 Ninevehs that
Yeah.
are coming within at least close range, but it's going through 2. So it's like, okay, that's just a shot in the dark. I mean,
Right. And it's going through many other names too.
Yeah.
yeah.
I want to mention you put up a comment by Barry Gilmer. He
That
is
was fun.
a teammate of ours on
Oh, okay.
Mapit, and he will be in Ohio with us. He's actually
Oh,
from
nice.
Ohio. He's from Ohio, so
Oh, cool.
Cool.
he's kind of your neighbor.
Nice.
And I like his comment.
Well,
Yeah.
he's our neighbor now, so yeah.
No, he was.
Oh,
their
yeah, it was their neighbor. Yeah, for sure. A funny one here is in Norse culture, they blame Loki because they blame Loki for everything.
Of course.
Yes,
It's
they
always
do.
Loki's fault.
So it's Loki's fault, man.
Uh-huh.
Poor guy.
Wait,
That one I knew.
okay, so RJ, you might know. Did they have any way of predicting these things back then? Or was it like it just came and everybody's like, oh my gosh,
Oh,
this
shit.
is happening?
You know, that's a good question because I was thinking about that too yesterday. You know, I think at one time, because I'm a true believer that we had a civilization here on this planet that was much more far advanced than we are now. So they did know then, but after the big water came and tried to wipe people out, we had to start over. And of course, we had to live in caves because there was nothing to live in. But they called us cavemen. But I don't think they did. I don't think they knew. But somehow, some way, somebody must have been able to predict it.
Right.
Because I mean, I don't know when that happened, but you know, but eventually, somebody did figure it out.
Yeah.
Well, they predicted.
Yeah, they predicted. So
for sure.
Yeah.
But it's really weird is that, you know, the eclipse can only happen on a full moon or a new moon. Now, how does that happen? Why? I mean, who decided that was going to happen? I mean, who made that
Well, it's the
decision?
placement of the moon and the sun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's
but
why.
But it's not when the moon's half or it's like a, you know,
Right.
a fingernail. It's always if it's full. And so that has certain astrological astronomy implications, you know.
Right.
Like the new moon, which is this one is going to be, means that it's a good time to, you know, start something new, plant new seeds,
Get a
you know,
divorce.
have a change in life.
Buy a house.
That's what
Things
that's
like
what
If you need to buy a
astrology
house
says.
in Ohio, let me know.
Okay.
You got it.
The problem is I went to the University of Michigan.
Oh,
Oh,
that's okay.
yeah.
We forgive people.
I know. See, I don't think I do well like that there.
I don't really like college sports that much anyway, so.
No, we don't care.
So you want
We have a lot of you type of people down here, anyways.
Well, I thought the world was coming to an end because actually Michigan won the last couple times. I thought the
Oh
world.
my gosh, you're right. That was like our first sign.
Yeah,
That was our
16
first
years.
sign
You know.
of the
we
apocalypse.
also still don't like to talk about it, though.
I know. But no, trust me, I went through a lot of years where I had to deal with it.
Yeah.
We didn't
So-
like to talk about it either.
Yeah.
So anyway, Barry and I, we go back and forth on that. We talk about that. So
That's all.
I'm sure the tide will change already. So
hmm
Yeah.
you know, there's one more in Vietnam. They said a giant frog swallows the sun. And,
Oh my gosh.
but its master, the Lord Han, convinces it to spit it back out.
After
So-
4 minutes.
After 4 minutes. So these are all kinds of crazy things you can look up. And if you think about it, worldwide, everybody had their own idea of what happened.
Yeah.
But they didn't know that. They didn't know it was going to happen. So like, wow, what's going on? You know, all of a sudden it's
Right.
daylight. You know, so
And then somebody was like, "Oh, a giant frog swallowed the sun," and everybody's like, "Oh, okay, that makes
Yeah.
sense."
Right. We'll just go along with that.
Kermit the Giant.
And if you think
Right.
about it, Denise, that kind of thing still goes on. That's why
That's true.
conspiracy theories and stuff are swallowed by so many people. Is people just buy bullshit
Here we go with the
And-
swallow thing again.
instead of having to think about it. It's like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Right.
It's hard though. I mean, there's a lot of, especially like with this eclipse, there's a lot of things that people are talking about that really do make sense. You know, there's a lot of like, if you watch, you know, people talking about the religious aspect of it, it makes a lot of sense. They put up a lot of really good arguments,
Yeah.
you know, probably a lot more than a frog swallowing the sun. You know,
Probably.
um, but it is very wild. Just I don't know. I feel like something's off about it, and I don't know what it is. There's a million theories as to what it could be, but I definitely feel like something is very different. Like this has never been like this. This is in 2017. They didn't do any of this like preparation stuff. Like the news just said, don't look at the sun with your eyeballs, use glasses, and that was it, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's so many different things. And like, if you look at the logo for NASA and like the logo for CERN and like the path of the eclipses are in their logos. And like, there's just so many things that are just super weird about this one.
Well, you know, let's face it, there's in the last 15, 20 years, times have really changed, like as you said. And we're getting more information every day about stuff. So there's definitely, I feel a change is coming on. I mean, I think we're going to be a part of something bigger. I'm hoping that something better, but we have to go through this bullshit to get there.
Yes.
But
that's everybody's hope. But
yeah, that's everybody's hope, and you know that's all we that's all we have. I think we have to learn that our thoughts actually make our reality.
Yeah.
So, not to say that there's not people out there pulling our buttons and pulling our strings and making things happen, but I think our power of thought is very, very strong. And so I encourage people why this is happening, because all these millions of people are going to be concentrated on this, that we just maybe for 4 minutes, just think of something good.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, think of something good.
Manifest it. I like it.
Right.
I mean,
and it's way better than manifesting the negative. And that's kind of what's happening. And does happen with all the gloom and doom with many of these events, you know, even coming into the different times and all of it. They put out all this gloom and doom and this is it. And people freak out.
Yeah.
And it does, you know, it has an effect on us.
Yeah.
Where, you know, if we don't allow that kind of thoughts, you know, let's be deniers.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
You know, so this is something, eclipses have been happening forever.
Whether they're happening or not, right?
Sometimes they do happen as often as every few years. You know, you can get freaked out, but it's way better to realize that this is a human thing pointing out different things and saying, okay, it's making an X. Well, I'm sure it's happened in the past. Who knows when, but I have no doubt it's not something that, you know, I don't believe for 1 second it's the end of times.
No, at the same
Yeah.
time, we're talking
Right,
about making
Barry.
it to a positive thing. At the same
Mhm.
time, people who are on the dark side, the negative
Yeah.
people, they could use this too to
Mhm.
promote horrible things, that this is the end of the world, and they want people to have fear. And if you go by the theory of the fourth dimensional beings feed off our fear and our negative
Yeah.
emotions, it's called loosh. They'll have a smorgasbord. Everybody believes that. It's like
Mhm.
a football game or the Roman Coliseum. Everybody's just, and
Yeah.
so that's used by the negative force also in a different way, not
Mhm.
positively so.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just hard because like I for some reason, I don't know, I just made this up years and years ago and I've always believed it, that like I know something big is going to happen and I know that it's going to be bad for a lot of people for a little while, and then afterwards it's going to be so good. Like a collective, everybody wake up and realize like we can live an amazing life. We don't have to like pay taxes and do stupid shit like that, like
Right.
everybody together. I don't know. I just always have felt like there is light at the end of the tunnel. And so I feel like I'm always looking for the tunnel. Like, okay, is this the
You're
thing that's
in
going to
it.
make it so that we can get to the other side of this?
But maybe you're saying like it's bad now.
What was that?
You don't think it's bad now?
I think it's what it is now, and I think every
I
time
think it's
it's
getting,
like
it's getting better. It's getting better. I think
that's what I'm saying. Like you went through your big collective thing with COVID, and all the crazy stuff, and now we're starting to come out the other end.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, look at the
I
wars.
agree with
Look at what's going on around this entire planet.
Mhm.
We're in that tunnel.
Yeah.
I think what's ahead is amazing. I mean, I think as far as technology, I think this disclosure thing. I mean, listen, I've been in the last year and a half, I've been really studying the ancient texts and the Anunnaki, and I kind of believe this stuff. So if we're from them, we were created in their image. But I can tell you this: these big son of a bitches are not that spiritual. And if I see them, I'm going to kick them in the shin because they're the ones responsible for putting the caps on our chromosomes that we only live 120 years. And they didn't like us, and they started this flood. They wanted to wipe us out because they wanted to have sex with the human women and create these Nephilim who were not good people. So they wanted to wipe us out. So, man, you created me. Why are you doing this to me? I didn't do that. And I think because they say that when that happened, and they cried. It was awful. I mean, we're talking about 2 mile high water destroying everything. But now I think that because some of us survived, I think they have a new attitude, hopefully, because this whole thing was, it was their doing, and we were just caught up in it, And what are we going to do? There's a 20-foot guy standing in front of you. You can't beat him up. So
no.
In the Epic of Gilgamesh, it says how big he was. He was 70 by cubits and all that. Was 17 foot tall, and he was. His father was Anunnaki, and his mother was half Anunnaki and half human. So these texts are pretty cool, I think. But I think there's some truth in it. But so anyway, we're here, and we were created in their image. That means we've got some power too.
I have always believed that, and I tell people that all the time. Like you underestimate yourself so much and your abilities and what you can do and what you can put out to the world. And I do think you're right, Heisenberg. I do think that people are starting to change, even in the simple fact that, like, if you look at, there's not as much like celebrity worship. Like people are kind of over that. Like, I don't want you to show me your seventh Lamborghini. I want you to show me what you did to help your neighborhood. I feel like people are really starting to wake up to that kind of stuff. And that does make me happy, but I feel like it's going to take just a little bit more.
Disclosure is a really funny thing, because how are you going to tell people that grow food for a living or cut trees for a living or that we don't have to do that anymore? We might have a replicator. We might have things coming that produce food. You don't have to make houses out of trees anymore. So how do you tell somebody that your whole life is going to change? It's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
So you have to, you just can't throw it right at them, but
it has to be spoon fed. And I feel like they've been doing that to us for a century.
Too long. Well, it's not fair because we only live 120 years, maybe.
Yeah. Right.
So,
I fully believe that we've had otherworldly technology in our grasp, and that, and just the way it's been amping up so quickly now. I mean, they spoon fed us a little bit, with the big, huge macro computers, and then telephones is just, and then now, I mean, literally, when I was watching Star Trek when I was in high school, they had iPads. Like that was the big, the big future thing. Now look at our computers. I mean,
we had flip phones.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We went from like the Nokia 5160 to an iPhone. Like,
no,
what?
we did not. There was a whole progression there. All right, I'm gonna put an end to this one right now because
okay, in a very
I
short
remember
time.
my dad's like with the case and the big thing. Hello.
Yeah.
Right.
Like he was in the military driving in his car.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. They used to have a phone in your car that was corded.
Right.
So
I'm so old that I grew up with a phone on my wall.
Yeah.
And a party line. If anybody even knows what that is.
Yeah.
Yep.
You could
listen
to your neighbors argue.
I never even had a cell phone, a flip phone that did nothing but text and call until I was in my 30s.
Yeah.
We're a little older. We're a little older.
To me, I'm kind of with Denise on that. It did happen fast. It seemed
was
like,
very
oh my
quick,
God, all of a sudden we have this crazy technology.
Yeah.
But nothing's really happened since.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's true.
It's coming.
That's true, and you're right, because that the knowledge is power. That technology is power. And they don't want people to have it.
Mhm.
Some people don't want people to have, but it's coming. They can't stop it. That's my.
You ever want to
theory.
jump down a rabbit hole? Look into Nikola Tesla and how he came up with free energy for everyone, and he was working on time travel, and he was working on all these different things, and
that was ancient. That was ancient. That he learned that what the pyramids did. The pyramids sent out energy, and these obelisks that they were standing in the ground. They actually had water running underneath the pyramids that was causing static electricity to rise up and send it out. So it was crazy.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to think that there has to be something like that, because what are the odds of people, first of all, people building the pyramids in general, but people building pyramids that are exactly the same all over the world? And we didn't have TikTok and the internet and newspapers and stuff. It's not like the Sears houses that you could buy in a catalog where they would send you the blueprints for how to build a pyramid. Like, how are they all so similar?
Yeah.
I mean, that's simple. There's only one way to build a pyramid.
No.
What are other ways to build a pyramid? If you want it to be smooth.
I mean,
well, you know what? You know what's
you
funny?
can build them smaller, bigger.
Right.
Different materials.
Yeah, according to the ancient text, we were here because of a labor strike. Now, the Igigi helped. They were the workers for the Anunnaki. They were tired of building the pyramids. They were tired of changing rivers. They were tired of building this planet. And they went to his house, Inky's house, and said, look, dragged him out, said, we're not doing this anymore. And his brother and Lil said, yeah, you're right. We got to do something different. So what they did was they took a Igigi and a human form here, which would have been Cro-Magnon man or something at the time, which was very close to us. And they mixed them together, and here we are. So now you're going to work with me. They made us more docile, more worshiping, just by messing with our genes and our things. And just
we're coming out of that.
Yeah, we're coming out of that, though.
Yeah.
So all this junk DNA we have in us, it's starting to wake up. Let's go.
Yeah. And I also am a firm believer that the powers that be know this. They know all of this. They know that we have all these abilities. They know that we can do things. And so they intentionally put things that stop it, like in our food, in our TV programming, like all of that stuff.
But who are the powers to be?
Well,
we don't want to talk about that because
there are people that have been around and they somehow know they're connected to this bloodline that's been around for a long time, and they feel like they're very privileged, and they've been
Kardashians.
Well,
no.
There's a lot of names for them, but they're definitely there. They're definitely there, and they know they're going down. They're going to go down.
Yeah.
So,
I just don't want them showing up at my house for calling them out.
Yeah, they're not going down without a fight, though. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. But I think that people are starting to see like that people don't have power unless we give them power.
Right.
There's, I've always been one of those people. I'm not going to like fangirl over somebody. Like, you're just a human being, just like me. You're not better than me. I don't need to worship you. I don't care how much money you make, what you do for a living. You're just a human being. And I think people are finally starting to be like, wait a second. That guy's only powerful because we let him be powerful. If we just ignore him, he has power.
Yeah.
Yep, that's so true.
Yep.
So
I feel like the CIA is going to be at my house tomorrow.
No.
I think you're just saying. I think you're just saying the regular stuff. You haven't gone crazy yet.
Yeah. We're not even. The stuff we're talking about is.
I think you're still in there like gray zone.
Yeah. You're right. The stuff we're talking about is just well known anyway.
Yeah.
I feel it's kind of the same thing though when we demonize people so bad. Like, I mean, we're not worshiping them, but we're giving them so much negative energy that we're giving them power.
Well, it works in both ways, right?
Yeah. Speaking of demons, have you seen? They now say that there's a demon face syndrome.
Yeah.
Have you seen this?
No.
Jump down this rabbit hole, Arjay.
You know why? Because it's not real.
Yeah, it's not real.
Well, yeah.
Coming from a guy who chased ghosts with me.
No. The syndrome is not real, is what I'm saying.
The syndrome is it's another manifestation. I mean, if you talk about stuff enough, if you think about stuff enough, and you make this, you start telling people about it, what happens?
Well, they want you to
create
look crazy
it in people's minds.
Yeah.
So
I think that they're saying that there's this new disease where all of a sudden, like, if I look at you, I will see a demon face, but nobody else will be able to see it. And my brain thinks that's just like ghosts. And there are psychics that can see them and other people can't. Like, so who's to say that there's not actual like demons or people have that, whatever, demonic energy about them, and only certain people can see them, but they're trying to make it like they're crazy, like before people even start talking about it.
Yeah.
First you have to believe in demons.
Well, if you believe,
but I don't think it's demons.
Yeah. I mean, there's different dimensions. You guys agree with that? There's different dimensions of frequencies that you can exist on. Okay. In the fourth dimension, which we're like the whole planet's going through right now, and that's why we're seeing all these ghosts, because we're changing our vibration. There's a lot of strange things in that dimension, I think. Things that are not human that exist there. And are they demons? We can call them whatever we want to. But I just think that we're starting to realize that there's other things out there that we just don't see every day. And as we raise our vibrations, we are vibrating with that fourth dimension. And hopefully we're going to go up to the fifth dimension where it's a little better. But we'll see if we can get there. That's the goal.
But I think that's exactly what's going to happen. But they're just like making it out like, so say we get to the fourth dimension and we start to see these things that resemble our version of demons. And people start to see them, like the news and stuff is already like putting it in people's heads. Like, oh, if somebody says that they see weird shit, they didn't, it's all in their brain. You know what I mean? Because they want to like cover up the fact that like people actually are seeing things now because we're getting to that point.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. I don't know how I feel about that yet.
Look into it. It's
I'm
crazy.
a medium, so I can't say you don't see things that other people don't see.
That would be like them saying, oh, there's a ghost syndrome where people don't actually see ghosts. They're just making shit up because something's wrong with their brain. And then you're sitting here like, I see them. They're right there. And they're like, no, look at her. She's crazy. She has that syndrome.
I grew up with that.
Yeah.
I was crazy. Yeah.
If we were
I still am.
Well,
it's all good.
Yeah. If we only see like 32% of the light spectrum. We don't see the X-rays, the gamma rays, but if we were able to see that, I can only imagine what the hell exists in those different rays. I mean, it would be something, we would probably lose our minds if we saw all that at once. It would probably blow up,
Yeah.
Yep.
And I agree that we are evolving, and that's part of what's going on with all of this is, we are vibrating at a higher level. We are seeing more things. Being a part of MUFON, I know there's way more reports of sightings. Being in the paranormal for the last 40 years, I can tell you over time, it continually gets, bigger and bigger. More and more people are having sightings and true experiences that can't really be explained. And it's because we are, like Arjay said, we're seeing through that veil in a different way.
Back, you guys know this because you're paranormal investigators, that back in the day, paranormal people didn't talk to UFO people, and UFO people didn't talk to Bigfoot people. So, but
they're crazy.
Yeah, but I think
right.
It's changing. It's changing. We're getting. I think everybody's starting to realize that it's all connected somehow.
It's all paranormal.
Yeah. So.
Right.
And that's why with the Michigan UFO Con, we invite people like Ronnie LeBlanc to come in and speak because he's Bigfoot, but he also sees the connection
interdimensional.
The whole interdimensional connection with Bigfoot and otherworldly beings. Are they one and the same? We don't know, but
it's fun to go down those rabbit holes and talk about it.
Absolutely, and it is. It's all connected.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
when you talk about, if there was a Bigfoot, then we would have found a body by now. Okay, well, not if it's interdimensional,
right?
But also, how many people have here seen a bear bone in the woods? I've never seen a bone of a bear.
Yeah.
I mean,
or a raccoon, or
I've seen a raccoon, but the bear I haven't seen an elk. I haven't seen, so. That that's just debatable, but and they if they're intelligent, would they pick up their dead and carry them away?
Bury them,
or
like humans do.
Take them into a portal. Let's go. So you never know. But when you play golf, I used to play golf. That one shot would bring you back, right? I made a good shot. I'm coming back. I'm going to come back next week. So. But we started doing this Bigfoot investigation stuff a couple of years ago, and we were about 25 miles southwest of here. And at night, we got a call back, and it's on film. It's on one of the My Haunted Diary episodes, 73 or 72.
On YouTube.
But we all looked at each other because Daniel gave out a hoop, and about a minute later, we got this. Back. It it wasn't close, but we could hear it. And that stuff makes you go, wow, there's, because we all look at each other. I've been out in the woods all my life, and I'm telling you what, I've never something like that. So
that's not something you would hear in Michigan from a bobcat, a coyote, anything.
We played it back for Ronnie and
Russell Acorn.
And they said, you got something here, man. So anyway, that stuff makes you come back. Do I have any explanations for Squatch and Bigfoot? I don't, but like I said, like UFOs, in an infinite universe, you have infinite possibilities. You have to keep your mind open to everything. So that's all I say.
Yeah. It's so crazy to me. Like, When people do Bigfoot calls, you have no idea what you're saying to them.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like you might say, a few,
Yeah.
Yeah,
a
right.
few, you.
Or, hey,
They're
big
like, we were
boy.
just gonna come down
Yeah.
there and talk to them, but they just started screaming obscenities at us.
And
Yeah.
no wonder they drag you off. And what did you say to me, mister?
Yeah, it could be a mating call. You don't know.
Yeah.
You better be careful.
Right?
Yeah, because maybe they've been answered and we just don't know.
Well, there's some recordings of a couple of them actually having a dialogue, and it's a very strange dialogue. I don't know if you heard that, but it's a really weird guttural communication that it's a cool thing if you could ever look it up. But yeah, they have their own language, whatever this was talking. So, and nobody can explain what it was. So.
Most beings too. Yeah.
That's really cool.
But we had Ronnie LeBlanc on our show not long ago, and he brought up a point that I hadn't thought about. I'm an experiencer and have had contact with off-planet beings, and I know that the communication is telepathic. But I never thought about that with Bigfoot. And Ronnie was explaining that, all of these people are reporting that they have telepathic communication with Bigfoot.
Huh.
Does that make sense? I like it.
I think
Yeah.
back when we were more advanced and there was great civilizations on this planet, that our communication was more like that. And then we were more in tune with nature.
Mm-hmm.
And that we could hear maybe a tree talking to us. We could hear an animal talking to us, but we've lost that. We're getting it back now.
Well, some people, I still meditate with trees.
Yeah. So, we're old hippies anyway. So
by the time the show is over, you guys will be totally convinced that, yes, they are really crazy.
Oh,
I'm hanging on every word. I love this conversation.
I know, right? Like normal is boring.
And I don't know what happened to the Eclipse thing, but I love this stuff too. So.
Yeah, I can't talk to people they're like, oh, how's the weather? I'm like, tell me your thoughts on aliens, man. I don't want to do small talk.
Right.
You see, I stopped all small. I was talking about this at work today. I was like, I stopped wearing all my stuff because I don't want people to talk to me out there.
Right.
Well, I totally have. I'm like, I don't want people to just stop me. I don't it bothers me.
Well,
I wear my stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys can see it.
I always advertise the show because I do wear the sweatshirt a lot, but
yeah.
That's cool.
Well, see, if you're advertising the show, you're opening yourself up to that small talk.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good point.
Nice. Love it.
We love those.
This is not alcohol. Maybe not.
Maybe
Okay.
not.
Okay.
This is also
I'm gonna
maybe
judge
not alcohol.
Right.
Maybe.
Maybe not.
And nobody will ever know. Is it or isn't it?
I'm just.
But I
kidding,
do
it's
have
not.
to go here in a few minutes, though, because I got to help with the boy.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, man, it was great talking to you. I really appreciate it.
Just kidding.
Yep. Oh, you just kidding?
And we're going to be like you and deny the eclipse.
Yeah, right.
Kind of like that. I'd like to deny, the eclipse is cool, but I'd like to deny all the insanity out there about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm an eclipse denier.
I'm on your team.
Why do you think that they're firing rockets into the eclipse?
Because they can. Really?
Well, there's got to be some kind of instruments out there. They're going to do some kind of experiment with it. Now, there are people saying that I forget his name's Little, and he has a lot to do with these mounds. There's a lot of mounds in Ohio, but he wants people to do EMF readings and then send it back to him to see if they're different during the eclipse.
That's a cool idea.
Yeah, that's a cool idea.
Yeah. So if you guys
my
think
kids will
about
totally
it,
get behind that. I'll give them my K2 and put them outside during the eclipse.
There you go. There you go. Yeah,
I would love to sneak over to Turner's Woods and go up to the Hopewell Mountain just to see what would happen.
Oh, that'd be cool.
You'll never make it there. I bet you that place is going to be
it's going to be
a lot of trees there. It's a lot of trees, but I would think that place.
I think they're going to be at parks, but they're going to be like open fields.
Yeah, maybe where we looked at the UFO stuff, they might be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gregory Little. Thanks, Barry. That's who it was. Yeah, Gregory Little. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
Check them out.
really into the mound stuff and the giants and all that. So
I do wonder because they're talking about like solar flares and EMF spikes and all that stuff. Like the science behind it is a little weird to me.
Well, back in 1880 something, I think, or 90, we had a solar flare that wiped out all the, oh gosh, I can never think
telegraphs.
the telegraphs.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, so, and I kind of looked if we had a major one, and I'm sorry I looked at it because it's not good if it happens. When it hits on this, whatever side it hits, oh, you're totally, wiped out. But
yeah,
you think you're safe on the other side? No, it just spreads out and goes around the planet and just totally wipes out the grid and everything else. But when the side it hits, it's kind of hot.
yeah.
So,
And like when the telegraphs go out, like if that was now, that would be catastrophic.
yes.
Everything
God,
that we do is electronic,
Absolutely.
everything's run off of Wi-Fi, so back then it was like, oh, our telegraph machines are down, like no big deal. But like if they had electricity and Wi-Fi and ATMs and all this other stuff,
I can't get
like,
my coffee.
Hospital
you can't do
equipment.
anything.
Yeah.
They still had the Pony Express back then, so they would
Right.
You need to get your message a little later.
Now you're right. That would be a big difference.
Right.
Why?
Right.
We wouldn't be doing this right now.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why it's
that
very
would be-
important for everybody to practice their survival skills.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And
that's
it's very important for you to tune in next Thursday to see if we lived.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
At least for me, because I'm going to be heading out right
Our
now.
very
So,
last show, guys.
All right, man.
Well, good to see you.
but
Man.
Good seeing you, buddy. Have a good night.
Thanks, man. Thanks for
have a good night,
guys.
guys. Have
Okay.
fun.
Don't look at the eclipse. That's not
Yes.
going to
The
happen.
what? There's no.
Yeah.
See you guys later.
Bye.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.
Everybody.
He's a
Oh, what a
riot.
nut job.
Yeah.
He lives to argue.
But we,
He's
we
fun.
love nut jobs. I mean, what a better way to make people think about things is to be a nut job.
Right.
So it's all good, man. It's all good. Yeah.
I just funny. It's like we talk
feel-
about the eclipse, but like that was the pre-party. But what are we talking about now? I love this. That's why I love doing this show.
Yeah.
I mean, it's honestly
just-
all tied in, though.
Yeah, it
they're
is.
ta- all of the different theories. We've talked about them all, just in an indirect way. There
Right.
are theories about the Anunnaki. There are theories about another dimension opening up. There are all kinds of theories, and we've touched on all of them, just
Right.
in a roundabout way.
Well, we left out, I think we left out like the Masons doing, or Masonics, whatever it is. Masons doing the rituals around the world to bring in the new world order.
Yeah,
Did we hit on that?
No,
that's true.
Yeah.
That's another one that you're like, okay, I mean, I could see that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm sure there's, there's, you can't deny that people use these happenings for their own gain,
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
whether it be good or bad,
Right.
So, and
Because
so you got,
we're talking about how easy it is, not easy, but how attainable it is for us to manifest things, right?
Right.
So if we're doing it on like a small scale, like I'm going to manifest that I get this job that I applied for, whereas they're manifesting total world domination. A little bit different, same theory,
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
As long as we don't give them that power.
Right.
Yeah.
And, having a belief in something, you're giving it power.
Mhm.
So,
But I think that people are starting to realize, like, all those crazy things that they tell us not to talk about, they're telling us not to talk about it so that, because what united we stand, right? It's not just a political thing. It's it's a humanity thing.
Yeah.
And if we can all get together and on the same page and have the same goals, then we are literally unstoppable. And that is so scary.
That's what scares the hell out of them.
Well, politics, in my opinion, is there just to separate us, not to bring us together.
Yes.
We got this, we got this, and we got this, and if you got to be either one, and then if you're like that, I don't like you, and you don't like me, and
and you have to hate them, and they want to
Divide
kill
and conquer.
you, and
yeah,
it's so ridiculous.
Right. So
and it works.
It does.
You can't even
It's
be
been
mad.
working forever.
It works.
It's been working forever.
Works.
Yeah, you can't deny that it's not there. That's for sure.
Right.
So we all have to rise above it and
Yes.
stay in a more positive, loving mindset.
Right.
I'm all for like the law of one.
Yeah.
We're all connected.
Mhm.
And, you know, I truly believe that many of the off-planet beings are of that same mindset.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Not all of them, but most. And really this whole evolution that we're going through, the age of Aquarius and all of that is about bringing about the law of one, realizing that everything, all living beings are connected.
Yeah.
You know, we're connected with the trees and the grass and
Mhm.
aliens and
Right.
reptilians and all of
Right.
them, everything.
Right.
So if that's where we can keep our mind, you know, that's where our spirit's at, then we don't have to worry about what's happening with this eclipse.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. And I've said it so many times. I have always, it's another thing that I just believe in my heart and I don't know why, but I've always felt like you don't have to worry about aliens and stuff because they are like connected to us and they know your intentions. You don't have to be able to talk to them. You don't have to be able to do anything. They can just look at you and like feel your intentions.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I've just never worried about it. Which I have anxiety. I worry about every fucking thing on the planet. For some reason, aliens, I'm like, oh, it's cool. It's fine.
Yeah, out there that said that they have a technology where they can just fly by a planet and turn on whatever they have, and they can tell by the frequency that what stage of civilization we're in. You know, where we're at spiritually, where we're at, you know, with technology and everything else. So, I mean, they're very far advanced people. And I think it's time that we get to be that way too.
Well, they're pushing for it. I mean, really, humans are like the biggest pain in their butts, I think, because we're so, you know, if you think about races, we're a pretty hostile race.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
We really are.
For sure.
And
for no reason. Like for no good reason.
Well, you know what though?
No good reason.
Bring that up. The Anunnaki were like
that.
The Anunnaki were. They bring that because the Anunnaki were like that. They'd like to fight and they like to, you know. Like I said, for a highly technological society, they weren't very spiritual, in my opinion. What I'm reading.
Yeah.
So there was wars constantly, you know, against this king and that king, and you know they were.
But we're not there anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think it's.
I just think like humans are so dumb. Like, first of all, we're not even that great. Like, we only live to be 70, 80 years old. We have back problems. Like, we have all this other shit. We're not even that great. We're not like, it's the audacity to sit here and think that we are the most advanced race. And like, we're so smart and like, guarantee if aliens come here, the first thing our dumbass governments are going to do is be like, let's nuke them. Like, you're an idiot.
Well, yeah.
Just like as a collective, we're not very smart or strong or anything. Yeah.
They've been shutting off our nuclear weapons for a long time now, ever since we've got them back. So, and they show it too. They go in and shut them out.
And they probably just fuel their systems anyways. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so naive and dumb. Like,
yeah, it's time to grow up, and we want to be a part of that. We've got to grow up and be nice, and they're not going to let you out there if you're, you know, going out there with a bomb. Yeah,
right.
He's a sweetheart.
So it's interesting.
It's so silly. It's so silly.
Yeah,
to think that we're fantastic. We're not.
Yeah, we have a lot to learn, and you know, I'm one of those crazy people, or I listen and I really think they're working with us. They're trying to help us.
I believe that.
Realize what is really going on, and what we have thought for, you know, all of our existence most of it's been lies.
Right.
Yeah. I really feel like
they're way more advanced than we are. So I believe that they can look at us and be like, oh my God, wow, look at them. They have no idea. They're so brainwashed. They have no idea. Look at, they put them against each other. Like, they probably feel sorry for us. Yeah. And if they wanted us to be dead, we'd all be dead. No questions
Oh
asked.
yeah.
Oh God, yeah. I think you'd wipe the whole planet out if they wanted to.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Push a button, and
push a button, you're gone. But
Yeah, they probably have pity for us.
yeah.
No, I like to think that the people that are experiencers or that witness have been chosen because they can sense that you're on that level, that you're, I want to worthy, I guess, or you'll listen and you'll learn.
Like ready.
Yeah.
Well, we'd had a discussion on one of our shows on the Voices of Contact not too long ago, kind of about that. It used to be everybody'd say, well, psychics are always taken, or you have to have certain abilities or a mindset to be taken. Well, now we're starting to realize maybe they cause that, because there are many who, nothing happens in their life until they're like 30, 40 years old. And then they have contact. All of a sudden they're psychics,
maybe
or
they
mediums, or
maybe they enhanced.
So really, what comes first, Goose? Is it
right?
Right.
Do they take us because we have abilities, or do they take us and give us the abilities?
Or they enhance
just
or they enhance them.
Really know.
I think
they enhance it.
Yeah.
But
or do we already all have them and they're just
boom,
pulling that switch? Throwing the switch.
Yeah.
We were made in their image, so we gotta have something.
And I believe we were all born with way more than what we use. Denise, I think you kind of talked about that earlier. We all have it. Nobody realizes the power that they have, the abilities that they have. It is in all of us.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
We are really cool.
Yeah.
We can do stuff.
Yeah.
As long as we, open our minds, open our hearts, and not fall for the BS.
Yeah. You just have to see past it. Like when you notice a news article or something going on and you see that it is literally there to pit us against each other, or to fuel that fire, just look past it and don't let yourself fall for it.
Right.
I think humanity is gone. Like, people don't see each other as human beings anymore. They see each other as Republican, Democrat, gay, straight. You know what I mean? Like, that's what's been put in our heads. And we do need to realize that we're all the same. We all have the same goals. Really, we just want to live our lives and be happy.
Everybody's worried about them putting chips in our brains, but we're already doing that to ourselves. We're already labeling ourselves. We're already segregating ourselves.
We have these.
Yeah.
We don't need a chip in our brain.
We're already brainwashed.
Yeah.
And we all carry them around all the time.
Well, as I say, they go to great extremes, and I say they go to make sure that we're divided and confused.
Right.
And, that we live a very life that is just so hard and struggling, and we've done this forever, and it's time that it's got to change, and the only ones that are going to change it's going to be us. And I think if we start changing within ourselves, then we're going to get help to do that. It's my belief.
Yeah. We had been making some pretty darn good progress.
I believe so.
On this planet, we really were. We were becoming more loving, more open, not judging people the way they were in the 1950s and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, as people are starting to wake up, something happens politically, and boom.
No, they can
everything.
They can see it happening, so they don't want it to happen.
That's what I'm saying.
They make a concerted effort to come out stronger about it.
This is all happening to divide and conquer, like Goose said.
Tiffany said, read it, absorb it, keep on keeping on.
Amen. Keep on keeping on.
You cannot let it affect you. And I'm not saying I do that all the time. It's very easy to lose your faith in humanity. Like, just reading a comments section of any post, you completely give up on humans. and think they're all garbage, but
no. I know that
kind of,
that's easy to do because we just
Yeah.
it's very difficult to stay positive, and they
you
make
have
it
to make a
that way.
very conscious effort to look
you
past
do,
it.
and don't give up, people. Don't give up, man. This is what we got to
Right.
do.
Yeah.
Literally, humanity needs you. Please don't give up.
Yeah.
Do not give up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
We're getting
really,
close.
Yeah.
we really have to stop hating.
Mhm.
That's the biggest divider that there is
Mhm.
you know, the hatred going on for different beliefs, different anything.
Right.
Did you hear that noise?
I did.
No.
Sounded
Yeah.
like Morse code a little
Well,
bit.
no, it's weird because when we do our voice to contact, we get a lot of Morse code.
Yeah, I heard did it.
Really?
Yeah, I heard it.
Yeah, so
So
we're
they're
being listened.
They're
to.
letting us know
We're
they're
there.
listening.
Hi, everybody.
I'm ready to
What do
go.
you guys? How if somebody were to want to make contact, what do you recommend?
Number one, be open. I can only speak for myself, but I'm a believer that most of us nowadays have contact. Don't know it, don't recognize it.
How
but
could
it's
you
there.
recognize it? Like what?
Well, by experience, I can tell you, I was doing C5 before it was C5, and I was at my house in Swartz Creek, and it was late at night, and I was meditating very, very long and hard about just, give me a sign. And the lights just started blinking off and on, I said, thank you.
Yeah, that's a good sign.
We were investigating down in Everett, Michigan, in Barry's hometown, and we were doing some paranormal ghost hunting stuff outside on the river. And I looked up, there was Beatles, and I said, man, I know you're there. Just come on, just show me a sign. And there was 10 of us there. This, what I thought I was looking at a star, just opened up and lit us all up and right back down. And I just,
Oh, wow.
Thank you. So
Yeah.
it's possible. You can, and they say the Palladians are the easiest to get a hold of.
Mhm.
But I don't know if you've ever seen some of Dr. Greer's work when he's done some C5 work, and what Costa Macraeus is that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he's the head of the C5 stuff too. The people, what they send in, they're actually getting film of beams and light beams and saucers and everything else. So
I watched a few of his documentaries. They're amazing.
Yeah. So you just have to. Basically, in my opinion, you just have to meditate on it.
Yeah. Or be open.
Oh, yeah.
The whole thing is I can't even say most people, but there are people out there who never look at the sky, could have something right in front of them and would totally blow it off.
Yeah.
So awareness is a big key to connection. If you're out there and you're looking at the sky enough, I guarantee you're going to see something.
Yeah.
We see it all the time. When we do C5 groups that we need to get back into doing.
I would love to do that.
We never do it without somebody everybody having experiences.
Yeah.
Cool.
They're there. Know that they're there.
Will you invite us the next time you do an event?
Yeah.
Well, come to Michigan UFO Contact.
Oh.
In September.
Yeah.
I think that's the same weekend as MadCon.
Oh,
it is
probably.
Okay.
Yeah. I have to be there for that. Yeah.
Well, first of all, the weather's got to turn around. Man, it's been crazy, but we were looking for some new places around here to go outside and do.
Next time you're in Michigan, let's get together and do something.
Michigan's not that far. I'll drive out just to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing how many people contact us and say, I had these dreams. I keep having these dreams about,
I do all the time.
I see something in the sky or I see beings.
Yeah.
Honey, those aren't dreams.
Yeah. And they've been getting
They're
so much more frequent.
Yeah.
And
with
so much more.
Yeah.
The last time we had Andrea on, we were talking about all of this, and afterwards, like that same night, she's like, telling us to focus in the sky and, just open our minds. And that night I had this crazy dream where I had this whole conversation with this being, and it was just crazy. And I told her, and I was descriptive on the like the form of the head, the color of the skin, and the eyes. And she's like, you definitely had a contact experience. She's like, I don't know exactly what the race would be of who we were speaking to, but I tend to do a lot of that kind of thing while I'm sleeping, like a lot of dreams.
Can you explain it to me?
I think it's the only time my mind is calm enough to receive anything, because if I'm being honest, I have ADHD. My brain is like 24/7. I have 100 tabs open at all times. And so I feel like when I'm sleeping is the only time where it's like, okay, she can pick us up now.
Right.
Yeah.
Denise, I would be totally amazed if you have not had contact. You being who you are, the way you think, all of it. I'm pretty convinced that
I feel like I have.
Yeah.
I feel like I could give you a few examples, actually.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, Goose, can you explain what they look like?
This particular one, the head was almost heart-shaped. Like it had two like humps on the side of its head.
Okay.
The eyes were very large, but they weren't like your typical like green alien eyes. Like they had pupils and a retina and just really big and circular. Very bright green, like a green I've never seen in any like human eyes.
Right.
Almost a normal nose, and the lips were there, but it like matched the skin. The skin was like a reddish color. So I've never, and we were just talking. I can't remember the actual conversation, but it was just like we were old friends talking about just kind of everything. You know what I mean? It was just
right.
It was the conversation itself is hard to remember because a lot of that gets lost after you wake up. But I just was there and I felt very comfortable. I remember feeling very comfortable. And it was just something I had thought about for days after. Like I couldn't get it out of my head. Like anytime I was driving the car or not with people and being distracted, I was thinking about this dream.
Right.
And like one of the days too, I was driving and it was actually, believe it or not, a sunny day. We haven't had too many of those. And I look at the sky like as I'm driving, and there's these like perfectly cylindrical, like saucer shaped clouds like all over the sky.
Yeah.
Same size, same. And there were a few times where I kind of like was doing a double take, like when I was at a stoplight looking at them, like could have swore I just saw something behind that cloud, like something shining through the cloud. And I'm like, or something like the sun reflecting off some kind of surface through the cloud back at me. And I'm like,
right.
What am I seeing? It's like, it's driving me nuts. And it's just thought it all.
Did you call it out?
Huh?
Did you call it out?
No, I had to get.
I was driving one time and I saw there was nothing in the sky and there was like one cloud and it was like super flat. It looked like a pancake just chilling up there in the air. And I literally was like, "Are you an alien? You look like an alien." That's not a real cloud.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's a good way to how they hide. I mean.
Yeah.
Yep. So.
Well, I mean, if they want to hide, they can hide, but I think that. They kind of use clouds and different things like that to say hi to people who are avoiding them.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
It's obvious what it is, but to some people it's not. Right.
I'm going to try to do some research on that bean you talked about.
Okay. Yeah, let me know.
It's ringing a bell with me. I can't put
something.
But honestly, you think about all the different types of beings on this planet. I mean, literally, there's millions if you count all the insects and animals and humans, and there's literally so many different races out there.
Yeah,
and even among like people say the grays. How many different grays are there?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Could be hundreds.
Yeah, the biggest thing.
I feel like saying the grays is like saying human.
Right.
And there's like a million different kinds of humans.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's just like a stereotypical alien.
Yeah. And with humans, people from different parts of the planet look a little bit different.
Right.
So, imagine.
Yep.
Well, the biggest thing this planet has to offer is genetics, because so many a diversity of life.
That's true. Yeah.
So and trust me, one day we're going to be out there doing all this genetic stuff on planets, and flying around and creating these things, and just for the hell of it,
Yeah.
Right.
So that's what they do, and to see what happens. So
yeah. So final take. What do you guys think is going to happen at the eclipse?
Well, my biggest thing is I said earlier, I hope that everybody takes the time, at least just for 4 minutes, to try to think of something positive.
Yeah.
Get a collective consciousness going, because that works. It's proven that it works. There's power in collective consciousness, and I ask everybody that's listening, that's going to be there, to at least try to think of some positive, loving thoughts for not only yourself but for the earth.
And no matter what you think, there's a very energetic, spiritual thing happening.
Absolutely.
And it's going to be amplified. So just think, if everybody was thinking something positive on the planet for 4 minutes, think about how the world would change almost immediately.
Exactly.
Right.
It does work.
And the waning crescent is all about endings, putting things behind us. So I see this, being the spiritual person I am, I see this eclipse as it's time to end things that are no longer good for us and start anew.
Yep.
So it's all about new, wonderful stuff coming in.
Yeah.
Kind of like an analogy. We're putting the blinders on, we have them on, and we need to take them off and start seeing exactly what's happening.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We need to see people again. We need to see all beings again.
Yeah.
You look at our kids and our grandkids, and they don't know how to talk.
No.
Right.
Conversation is either a computer or a telephone texting.
Right.
Or
I keep telling my kids, please stop texting me when you're sitting right next to me. Just say your words.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So,
we've lost that. That's been designed. We've lost that touch, that communication.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So even if people freak out about the grid going down, I say maybe it wouldn't be all that bad.
Yeah. I think it would be a reset.
I think everybody can stand a 10-minute break if that's what happens.
Yeah. And I think they have something in place if something goes down, even with the money situation, whatever, if it all collapses, they've got something in place. There's going to be something good happening.
Right.
I know, Tiffany. Me too. I don't. The slang is so far off of what we're used to.
Right. It is.
I do tell my kids. I do tell my kids that, I'll be like, okay, set a timer, because in 30 minutes, we're going to live like it's the 1990s. And I make them turn off their electronics. We'll play a board game. We'll go outside, whatever. Like, you're having the time.
And they kind of like it. They kind of like it, don't they? Yeah.
They do. They do. They're always like, okay.
Well, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I get back online now?
Right.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
My friends are waiting.
It was like we had to ground my daughter from her phone for a couple weeks because of something that happened at school. And that's what you do now. That's the big thing.
Yeah.
You can't have your phone with you.
Right.
Which, if somebody took my phone away, I'd be very upset. That would definitely.
And in hindsight, she said she was really mad the first couple of days, but I don't remember the last time I spent that much time talking to my kid.
Right.
And it wasn't anything about what she did. It wasn't about the punishment. It was just about her being there and us goofing around. And I'll flicker with my finger, and she's like, stop it. And we're messing around and just having a good time.
Yeah.
So
acting.
It's all by design.
People are supposed to act.
Right.
Yeah. So hopefully this eclipse brings a new change, a new energy, and we're going to head into a new direction for the planet. And I'm hoping that like you said, Denise, we're manifesting this. We're just, we have that ability to do that. And we don't realize we do.
Right.
Yeah. People are powerful. So be careful what you put out there. This is not gloom and doom. The world is not ending,
It's a new beginning, right, Deb?
It's a new beginning.
Yeah.
Yep. Time to change your pants.
Yeah.
I was going to say underwear, and I thought, it's not my show. I better not say that.
You can say whatever you want.
But then I did, right?
No,
Well,
I think that's
unfortunately, unfortunately, folks, with every beginning, there's also an ending, and I think it's about time we womp womp. Thank you guys so much for being on. Before you guys go, though, give us a little bit of information on your event coming up in September.
The Michigan UFO Contact. You can find it on Facebook. You can find it on miufocon.com. Tickets are on sale at Ticket Leap, and all that information is on Facebook and on the website. September 20th, 21st. Yep. Lots of great faces are going to be there, including Andrea Perrin, Ronnie LeBlanc, Michael Carter, Michael John. Oops, I did. He's not been announced yet. We have a whole handful of people not announced yet, but it's always a great event. We always have things happen.
Yeah.
So Andrea sings them in every year. Last year we had a musician come named Eli who he played this. What was that music called? Oh gosh, I can't think of it.
It's an older instrument, but it's all about frequencies, and wherever you put your hand, it makes a certain noise.
If you go to YouTube and look at the Croon,
you know what I'm talking about?
Croon, he's amazing. But with his music and Andrea,
I know what it is.
and Rupert was there, and it was like magic. There were so many.
We had one come over the lake and right down to the lake, and we had it on a night vision camera. It was just team over and right down the water.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Everybody, look us up, Michigan UFO Contact.
Yeah. And, what else is there anything else you want to plug? Like where people can find you?
People can find us all over the place. Look up Deb and Arjay DeRousse. Our name's right there. Mystical Awakenings. We have a metaphysical store by that name. Our radio show is Mystical Awakenings. We're on KGRA now.
And the Voices of Contact.
Every Friday night we have a show called The Voices of Contact. That's all about experiencers. We play some regressions and talk about them.
Nice.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I love that show. I try to tune in every time I can.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. It's a great show. It's helping a lot of experiencers be able to step forward.
And we appreciate you guys doing it.
And I would love to see you both get a regression.
I would love it too.
Yeah.
Come to Michigan.
We had Mama Mary on a couple weeks ago.
Did you?
Talking about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
She just did me about a week ago. So, that didn't sound right.
Okay.
Anyway, she she did her regression for me.
And I was right there.
Wow.
So sorry, Mary. Anyway. So she did regression for me about a week ago, Monday. And it was awesome. Yeah, it was awesome.
Awesome.
Nice. Yeah, we had a good time with her.
So
I don't think Goose and Heisenberg got to talk at all because me and her were just like, what about this? What about this?
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, you guys were
Mary
touching...
will also. Oops. Mary will be at Michigan UFO Con as well.
Spoiler. I love it.
Yeah, and she'll be doing a live regression.
Nice.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sorry,
awesome. This was so much fun.
Yes,
it's always good to talk to you guys.
I'm so honored. Now I feel like one of the cool kids because I finally made it on your show.
Oh, you could have come on anytime, really.
Yeah.
I love you guys.
That's you could blame that on me. I'm horrible at scheduling guests. So
he is really.
I keep asking for help, but the two other people are just.
This never happens, right?
I know.
Yeah.
I hear
Heisenberg and I are useless when it comes to that.
You do a great job. I appreciate it. I love this show. Yeah,
Thank you.
Nice.
I appreciate it. And we love you guys.
Yep.
We love you
so much.
Sorry, we kept talking.
Oh my gosh, no. I could easily sit here for another 12 hours.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
We'll have you on again so we can continue the conversation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, if the world doesn't end on Monday.
Well, that's true.
It's not. Don't even put that out there. Take it back. Take it back.
Or if the world changes
I'm totally kidding.
More beautiful way. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Maybe they'll land everywhere. So.
Oh my gosh. That would be crazy.
Yeah.
Great.
Now
All
I'm
right,
picturing like
crypto
a
heads.
reverse rapture where instead of people floating up, there's like people coming down and like,
Yeah.
This will be fun.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Yep. Crypto heads, we love you. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next Thursday night. Peace.
Oh, and don't be an asshole.
Don't be an asshole.
I love it.
All right. We love you guys. Thank you guys so
love
much
you,
for
man.
being on.
Thanks.
We'll
Yep.
see you. Have a great weekend.
All right. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.